All right, welcome to another edition of the BS Sessions. Jerry, who do we have on tonight?
Dude, man, we are privileged to have on. We are privileged to have on tonight the host of the Decibel Geek podcast, Czynszak and AAron Camaro. Man, welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on our show.
Hey, guys, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, it's our pleasure, man.
Our pleasure, man.
And of course, Chris is the founder of the Rockin' Pod Expo every year, man. I'm looking forward. It's going to be my first time this year. I'm so excited to meet all you guys and looking forward to it.
Oh, glad to have you.
So, Chris, you got anything you need to say about the Rockin' Pod, or nothing that's been said already, or maybe do a summary of it real quick?
Just need to advertise it, man. You need to get people there.
Yeah, well,
come on, man. Be more enthusiastic about this. I'm just joking with you.
Aaron's better at doing it than me. I mean, I'll do a quick summary. March 17th through 19th, Nashville, Tennessee. Friday, there'll be a rare hair show with a lot of the Expo guests will be jumping up on stage doing a few songs, including Eric Martin, Jason McMaster, Stevie Rochelle, possibly Monty Colvin from Galactic Cowboys, some other ones too. We're just wrapping all that up, but that'll be a fun show at a place called Eastside Bowl. That's really cool. It's got like bowling lanes. There's a diner. There's a private bar. There's a music room. It's a really cool venue, and awesome. That'll be Friday, and then Saturday, of course, the Rockin' Pod Expo, which will be going on all day at the Nashville Fairgrounds. A lot of the people I mentioned, including many more, tons of vinyl and memorabilia vendors, tons of podcasts from all over the country. It's going to be the most podcasters we've ever had this year, so that's going to be cool. Ralph and Ian are coming back.
Awesome.
They've already got plans to do things to Mark. I'm not going to share what they are.
Yeah.
Is this why Ian never gives me messages me back? Man? He told me on his podcast, told everybody, "Hey, message me. I'll give you this album." 5 months ago, I'm still waiting.
I'll let you take it up with him. And then Saturday night is Keel Fest 2, which is Ron Keel Band, Keel, Steeler, Crashing Wayward in the 5th. That'll be a cool show at a place called Bowie's. It's like right in the heart of downtown. So if you want to see the insanity of downtown Nashville, come to that show because it's right there in the middle of everything.
I know it will.
Yeah, we got our tickets.
Cool. And then Sunday there will be a comic and pop culture convention going on in the same room. And then there's some programming of some cool stuff that we're doing on Sunday. I can't announce it as of right now, but in the next week that should be announced.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, last night on my radio show, I promoted you guys. I said, go to the Nashville Rockin' Pod Expo 2023. Said, we're interviewing you tomorrow. I freaking bumpered you guys all over, even my 20 listeners I had last night. But 20's 20, right?
Yeah. And I think the thing to remember about Rockin' Pod in years past, I know you guys are, planning on coming for the first time. So, what you can kind of expect is, man, fellowship of rock and roll. It's all these people. You think about us, the podcasters, us, and everybody else that's coming to this thing. These are the most hardcore rock music fans around. I mean, crying out loud, we, put our lives on pause to create these shows, and we're just talking about rock and roll. We're not getting paid big bucks for doing it. We do it because we love it, and it's all these people getting together along with, the people that are the creators of it, of what we love, and they're there and they make themselves available to everybody. So you're getting to meet your favorite rock stars. You're getting to see your favorite stars of podcasting do their thing as they're doing their interviews. The podcasts intermingle with each other. I mean, because you got to figure at this point, like you said, last night you had 20 people watching you, 20 fans. Might want to come meet you, Hey, we watch this guy on the YouTube all the time. We listen to his podcast every week. We want to go meet Mark Alden Taylor. And, as a fan of Mark or this show or whatever, a listener has a chance to do that, whether it's Decibel Geek or Rock and Metal Combat or, Chuck Shoot or any of the other number of amazing podcasts we got coming to this thing. And then the vendors, the vendors every year seem to outdo themselves because they know that this is a rock party, so they don't bring the country music. They don't bring the rap music. They don't bring pop. They bring the cool rock stuff out. So they dig deep in their collections, or when they're out doing the other, little vendor deals on the weekends, they say, oh, you look at this Kiss thing. I'm going to set that aside for Rockin' Pod, you know, so they save up their best stuff for Rockin' Pod because they know their audience when it comes to this thing. It's just all rock and rollers, and you know, everybody gets along, everybody has a good time. We're all there celebrating the same thing, and that's rock music, you know, and it's a whole weekend of it. It's, boy, man, when Chris started this, it was humble beginnings, but the feeling at the very first one is the same as it is now, you know, as much as it's grown and gotten bigger and bigger. It's the feeling of people that love and appreciate the same thing, being able to get together and celebrate it together, you know, and that's really what it's all about. Plus all the other cool shit going on the whole weekend.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's gonna be the first time I'm going. I said, Chris always jokes to me, "Oh, I'm going this year." He goes, "I'll believe it when I see it." It's like I actually wanted to go every year, but it's like shit came up, you know. But this year we got the tickets, we got the Airbnb, meeting Jerry there. I think Charles is coming. We're all gonna be there, and I need to show Bushy how to drink. That was embarrassing.
Now,
So what number is this? How many have you done in the past?
I guess, well, as far as doing them, this will be the fifth one because COVID shut us down in 2020, so I couldn't do it that year. But yeah, this will be the fifth time we've done this.
Cool.
Yeah, and
yeah, I've been trying every year. There's the last two, the previous two that you had going on. I tried to get to, man, but both of them came on family vacation time, so I couldn't. And they usually come to August and September is when they usually go. So I was excited when this one came in March. So I'm like, yeah, I can get to this one. So I'm stoked, man. I am so looking forward to this, man. I've been looking forward to going to this for like 5-6 years now, man. So
nice. Yeah. Yeah. Well, then like it typically is an August event, but we switched it up this time. It's like, let's try it in, you know, around the spring. And yeah, we've had several people that are like, you know, I never can make it in August, but now I can make it. So, you know, it'd be nice to meet some new people this year and some of our old favorites coming back too. But yeah, our family gets bigger every year as we do these things.
Awesome.
Well, I've already met you, Chris, but
yeah.
I hope you guys are around because Bushy was saying, because I saw you better hang around with me, bitch, the other day. And he goes, I want to hang out with you, Aaron, and Chris. And he goes, well, they're always busy. It's hard to catch them. I go,
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere at the same time. It feels like sometimes during Rockin' Pod, you know, between talking to everybody, because you want to talk to everybody, you know, because I mean, we've been doing this podcast so long, but there's other podcasters that I admire a great deal. And I enjoy spending time around and meeting new people, you know, and it's like everybody I meet at Rockin' Pod is either already a friend or they're about to become one, you know, and that's another thing I love about it is that, like I said, you know, we're all like-minded folks hanging out all at the same place, all for the same reason, you know, and it's just a good time, you know, you feel good. My face hurts always after Rockin' Pod.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great time there. I know me and Jerry got our tickets to Keel Fest. We got our tickets. We didn't want to get the podcast package right now because we wanted to just take it in. Probably maybe next year or whatever. We'll probably do a podcast thing, right,
Mark?
Jerry?
We're not allowed to talk about next year until we get through this.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, no, that's a no with me. Aaron knows that. Do not bring up next year.
Have you said that on the podcast? Maybe I missed it.
Yeah.
one. Man, you guys, the Decibel Geek podcast is freaking awesome. It's like the rock and metal combat podcast, and Decibel Geek podcast is what led, I think, most of us to want to do a podcast. So thank you guys for that again. And Chris, man, you're great, man. Keep it up, man. You need a hug, I'll give you a hug. I know you're going through a lot of stress right now, man.
This is the phase of Rockin' Pod season where I say I'm never going to do this again, and everyone just rolls their eyes and they're like, "Yeah, you will." So yeah, I don't really believe myself, but we'll see. I mean, my wife described it as like being pregnant. You know, it hurts. You're tired. You're exhausted. You say you're never going to do it again. Then you see the result, and you're like, "Okay, I can do this again." That's probably how it'll go.
Yeah. Charles, you got anything to say?
No, man, I'm just really excited to be able to go the first time ever. Really cool. It's in one of my old stomping grounds. I used to go watch wrestling all the time down there at the Nashville Fairgrounds. So I know that area real well. And plus, I haven't been in Nashville in like 20 some years. I used to live in Tennessee myself. So it's a total like cool thing for me just to be able to be one in Nashville again and to go to Rockin' Pod and to see what Dr. fucking Ian have in store for Mark Alden Taylor. I can't wait to see that myself.
Make sure my
I
wife
see
is
that.
on.
Put that on the poster.
Yeah.
Shit. But I got some questions from people in the group. This one is from one guy you guys all know, Nate Atchison, Bushy.
Oh,
What
boy.
podcast do they enjoy having there the most, and why is it the Plug podcast?
That sounds like Bushy.
It's easy. It's because of Bushy. That's the answer.
Yeah,
It's
and-
true, and that's why.
yeah.
That's
Well,
cool.
and it was funny that he showed up for the first one, and I guess for a job or something, he had to shave his beard off. So like he showed up, and I see everybody Bushy this and Bushy that. I'm like, you don't even have a fucking beard, dude. I was like, he was just like, damn job. But nah, Bushy comes all the time, and he's one of the most fun people to hang out with every year. So I'm excited to have him back.
Great guy.
Awesome, man. You guys got anything else to say about Rockin' Pod?
I mean, I'm just like I said, I'm just stoked. I mean, I'm counting the days, man. So looking forward.
Yeah, me as well.
Pack a liver, lots of alcohol.
Well, I'm trying to find that 99 pack of PBR, but I can't find it anywhere up there.
Well, that's better than
I was
Budweiser
gonna
you were
lug that
drinking.
big
Shit.
ass thing up there, but you know,
As long as you
Yeah.
don't drink
I'll
White
still
Claw
look.
around
I
me.
ain't gonna drink no White Claw unless I'm wasted. If I'm wasted, I'll drink a freaking White Claw, man. I won't purposely try to drink one.
All right, man. So we
Better take it down. Chris Czynszak's going to get triggered by this conversation.
yeah, I remember when Chris was drinking White Claw, but you know,
Yeah, I've kind of turned my back on the White Claw. I've gone back to IPAs again.
thank
so-
God. I love IPAs, man. Oh my God. I was going, Chris went to White Claw. Oh my God.
Well,
I
once,
left you alone because I'm not your podcast partner. I would have teased you.
once Aaron and some other people started branding me the White Claw outlaw, I was like, I got to change things. This is too embarrassing.
All right, man.
Yeah, I
And
drank one White Claw when I was wasted. I don't even remember even drinking it, and Mark's been giving me shit about it ever since.
well, he sent me a picture of the empty White Claw. What do you want
Dude,
me to
I
do?
admit it. I was confessing my sins, man. All right.
But you don't confess it to me. I'm going to razz you on it. Come on.
Technically, it does have more alcohol than a Coors Light, though.
I'll give White Claw this. They're pretty good for hangovers too. When you drank the day before and you're trying to, kind of ease out of it, a White Claw is all right for breakfast the next day.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
All right. One more thing about Rocket Pod. Mark Dolly asked, I could have gave the answer, but it's good to have like people listen to you guys tell it. Is there going to be just more than vinyl vendors there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Posters, vintage t-shirts, Kiss collectibles, CD.
Oh, yeah.
Vinyl. I mean, these guys know what they're bringing. If they've got cool stuff in their collection, which, vendors, they always got the stash. And, when they're coming to Rockin' Pod, like I said, they're going, oh, I'm going to set this aside for Rockin' Pod. Oh, that's going to go to Rockin' Pod. I'm not going to bother dragging that out to the flea market because I know that'll be off my table in 5 minutes at Rockin' Pod. So they know it, they know what to bring, and every year they outdo themselves.
Yeah, and then we kind of expanded this year. We have a much bigger room. So our friend Mark Ballard is, kind of co-promoting with me. He's doing the comic and pop culture con. So we'll have some of those vendors on Saturday as well. So there'll be toys, comics, horror items, action figures, all kinds of cool stuff.
Me and Aaron will be looking at the DC stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I work for Disney, but fuck, DC's way better if they make a good movie. But all right, man. So let's get to we got a couple bullshit stories for you guys. I guess this Sammy Hagar, Charles. Yeah, you like to do the sponsor.
The Mark Daly Van Hagar news of the week, huh? Here we go.
All right. Well, I got some breaking news from my friend Bob Hay. Everybody knows Bob Hay, right? He said that the Van Hagar remasters are coming. Sammy said it. They're starting with the live album first.
Oh,
and then the rest will come shortly after.
I can't wait. Man, that is the worst news I've heard all day. What? Do you save this for this show?
I just
Once
got
again,
it
I'm
10
amazed
minutes
where you
before
guys
the
pull all
show.
the
Breaking news right there.
breaking news. Yeah, no.
I can't wait to not buy this.
Hey, I'll be buying all those albums remastered on vinyl. I'm all on CD.
Now, those are the ones you should unbox and just abuse.
Yeah.
Live
Those are the ones
on
you drop
video.
on the floor.
Hey,
yeah.
the Van Halen box set's okay. It's
Mhm.
okay. But what do you think of that, Chris?
Very first year of Rockin' Pod, when Ralph and Ian came down, what was it? A record? Was it a
Sammy Hagar? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a
record? And they like busted it up on stage, and there were some people that were really upset, and but most everybody was laughing their asses off. But there
I
were
laughed
some
my ass off singing that.
that were really, really offended that they would besmirch the good name of Sammy Hagar like that up on stage, even though 90% of the place was in tears, dying, laughing. There was like 3 or 4 is like, that's not cool.
Well, the funniest part of that was, not to derail things, but the funniest part is that they're up on stage. So all the podcasters are in this like horseshoe configuration of tables, like right in the middle of the room. So a bunch of them are recording interviews and episodes and stuff while Ian and Ralph are on stage. And Ralph took full advantage of it. But like if you listen back to the podcasts that were recorded during that time, you'll hear Ralph saying like, "I fucked your mother" into a microphone, but right behind him. He purposely did that to fuck with the other shows.
Oh, that's what me and Jerry were kind of planning to do, but we're okay.
Let's not go there, guys.
I'm just joking.
But
I
you
wanna
can snort
say
as much
something
liquor as you like. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, are you guys really gonna have a table and I'll snort for everybody? What's going on with that? Am
We
I
take
doing that?
him up on stage during intermission at Keel Fest to do that in front of everybody.
I would do it.
Ah, dude, man.
I think Ron Keel would
I
punch you in
try
the
to
face if you
discourage.
did that.
I try to discourage him from doing that for health reasons, but I can't fucking stop him. People seem to love it. People seem to love it. So I don't.
Hey,
give a shit.
Edwin
Go for
Conestrachi
it.
looked it up and said you can't die from that, and I looked it up also just to
There's
make
a lot of
sure.
things you can't die from that you shouldn't be doing, Mark.
Well, it's not like I do it every day. I do
Like-
it
like
once
buying
each
the-
time.
Like buying the Van Hagar remasters.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Only
I
you,
need balance. That disc broke.
Yeah,
you do need balance.
That's the worst of them all, in my opinion, man.
Oh fuck! Aftershock rules, man. Come on. I like Amsterdam. Okay,
No.
okay. I'm just making fun of myself right now in front of you guys.
Yeah.
So, and then also some more Van Hagar news. He admits he wouldn't be legendary without Van Halen. I think this is the first time he's ever said that. What do you think about that, Chris?
Well, I'm glad he's finally coming around at 75 years of age. I mean, that's good for him. I know he likes to brag on his solo career. I mean, he did have some hits, but no, if it wasn't for Van Halen, he would have been forgotten about in 1986, probably.
Yeah.
What about you, Aaron?
I can't drive 55 guy, right? That's who. For once, I agree with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah. That song takes on a whole new meaning when you're elderly. You just can't get up to 55.
All right.
Oh my god. Do you have any thoughts on that, Charles?
He's finally attempting to tell the truth. That should have been your lead story. The hell with the remasters. Nobody here wants that but you. And yeah, I was kind of shocked that he finally told the truth about something. Finally. He excels at not doing that. But yes, of course. If it wasn't for Van Halen, nobody'd be talking about him.
Well,
And
we
all
don't
know
have
that.
any Journey news, and we're kind of quiet this week for once. So,
Thank the Lord.
Cherry,
Thank
what do you
the
think
Lord.
about that?
I feel the same way everybody else does, man. Finally he's admitting that Van Halen made him fucking, more popular. I liked Standing with Montrose and a couple of the solo songs, but other than that, he was terrible with Van Halen. Like I said, in all fairness to Sammy, I don't think anybody could have replaced Dave, to be honest with you. But I just thought the Sammy era of Van Halen was terrible. Not even close to the Dave era. So.
Then the Sharon era was like, what?
I saw that
Even though I
lineup
like
live.
Gary Sure.
I saw them perform live with Sharon. That was the show was good, but that album's terrible.
Yeah, man. I love Extreme, but I was like, oh man, he's breaking up one of my favorite bands to go to Van Halen. This is gonna suck. And I didn't listen to that album for 15 years after I bought it.
Pretty bad.
Nice move.
Yeah. And then so then we get to the new Metallica. Do you have any thoughts on that? The Screaming Suicide song, Chris?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. It's grown on me more. I didn't hate it at first, but I just kind of like, it's not quite as great as, the Lux Eterna, but it's growing on me more. I still like Lux Eterna better, but no, I like it. I think those two songs are, they give you something to look forward to with the next record. I have high hopes for that next record.
What about you, Aaron?
I don't think I can say it any better than that. I agree 100%. The Lux Eterna exploded in my brain right off the bat. This one was like, okay, it's cool. I like it. And yeah, I'm excited for the new Metallica too. I'm really excited what the whole thing ends up being. So far, so good. Keep them coming.
Charles?
I'm still on the side of I like Lux Eterna a lot more, but it's all right. It's something about that opening riff that Kirk plays that hasn't grown on me yet. Now the actual music, once they get into jamming and all that, that's cool. I like that. But I still think Lux Eterna was just a little step ahead of it, but it's working. I'll get it no matter what, so it doesn't matter. I mean, if it's like really bad, like their worst, I'll probably never listen to it but once. But I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty good. So,
Yeah. What about you, Jerry?
I agree, man. I love both the songs I've heard of it so far. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to own it. Metallica's always been one of my favorite bands. I like Load and Reload. I know a lot of people don't. The only two I don't like is Saint Anger and friggin' Death Magnetic. But
Ooh, Death Magnetic rules.
I like Death.
but yeah, I
like Death
really
Magnetic.
I really love.
You like Lulu, Jerry?
No, yeah, that's the best, man. That's the best.
I like
Hey,
some
I like
songs
Blaze
on
Bailey.
Lulu,
I like
but
Blaze
it is a
Bailey
horrible
Maiden,
album.
So, but
It's a Lulu album. So.
I really enjoy the first two songs so far. So
I agree. I like the first two songs. Lux hit me faster, and this one's a grower. It's really cool. I know Metal Mike doesn't like it, but I think, and then Bushy's, they're always, because I fuck with Bushy on Metallica and Megadeth, so he always brings me up how I think, and I told him I agreed with him. The new song isn't as good as Lux, and the first two singles from the last Megadeth album are stronger than the first two singles of Metallica. But
I mean, Metallica was coming back with Hardwired, man. So, and I hope they surpass that one. I think they're going to. I love the first two songs. So
yeah. All right, man. And then we're here to do another thing besides promote Rockin' Pod, Decibel Geek podcast. We're here to do our top, like we're gonna do an album of the ultimate Kiss 80s songs. There's a lot to choose from during that era. I might not pick any songs off three of the albums, but I want to see if you guys do. That's going to be interesting. So let's start with we'll do our side ones first. We'll start with you, Chris.
Okay, so you said pick 11 songs for the album, right?
Yeah.
So how many on side one am I doing?
Well, you could do 6 and 5 or 5 and 6.
I'll do 6 on side one. So
Okay.
for side one, I went pretty deep on my opening track would be It's My Life, which wasn't actually on a record, but it was recorded for albums in the 80s. To me, it's the best like unreleased Kiss song ever. Track 2 would be Saint and Sinner from Creatures of the Night. Love that song. I'll do a little. I don't even like this record that much, but I love this song. I would pick Tomorrow from Unmasked for my third track. I just love the power pop in that song. It sounds like something Cheap Trick would have done. I think it's cool. Track 4 is Who Wants to Be Lonely off Asylum. Love that song. Track 5 would be Not for the Innocent from the Lick It Up album. And closing out side 1 would be King of Hearts from Hot in the Shade.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron?
All right, so I might be cheating a little bit. But when I looked at this, I was like, what's my angle here? Well, am I just picking like the greatest hits according to me, or is there an angle to this? And I've always kind of had the fantasy of what would have happened if the Kiss lineup of Gene, Paul, Ace, and Eric would have done more stuff together. So I concocted this whole thing inside my own imagination where Kiss breaks up, but only for a couple of years. And then in the mid 80s, they get back together and they put out an album with Gene, Paul, Ace, and Eric. All right. And when they come back, they say, we're not going for the hits. We're not going to try to be Bon Jovi. We're going to be heavy. We're going to be heavier than we've ever been. So this is the ultimate Kiss album. Come back in the 80s with that lineup, trying to be heavy. Kick off the album, Creatures of the Night. It's hard to top Creatures of the Night as an opening track on any album by any band, not even just Kiss, like any band. Creatures of the Night comes out and just kicks you in the face right off the bat. Follow that up, the only one I matched with Chris Czynszak so far, track 2, Not for the Innocent. Can you imagine Ace Frehley and Eric Carr playing on that with Gene and Paul? How amazing. Here's where the cheat comes in, and I'm going to just stick with it. 5-card stud off of Trouble Walking for track number 3 from Ace Frehley on lead vocals. Track 4, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. Man, this album is killer. Like the Judas Priest fans and the Metallica fans and the Megadeth fans are going, man, Kiss, yeah, have you heard the new Kiss album? It's fucking heavy and cool. And then track 5 to wind out side 1, I'm going to go with War Machine. So there you go. Side 1 of heavy metal Kiss from the 80s.
Yeah. So Jerry, what's your side one?
Well, shit, I gotta top that now, huh? Now mine's pretty basic. I agree with Aaron. Creatures of the Night, that's my lead-off song. I mean, that's the best fucking lead-off song in the 80s, in my opinion, in the 80s era Kiss. Then off of Silent, Who Wants to Be Lonely, man. I love that song. Great tune. Now I'm gonna cheese it down a little bit. I listened to this album a couple times this week, and I kind of like it more now. And I really, really love this song. It's all Crazy Nights, Reason to Believe. I love the song. I hated that album. And I listened again. It's a really cool tune. Even Bruce's little solo is cool. I know. What can you say?
Hey, you're not alone. That's the song that got me into Kiss. I still
love it. And the girl in the video is fine as hell too. So.
Oh yeah.
Then I got I'm a Legend.
I know why the guys that drink White Claw.
Oh man.
That's all right.
I could have put Turn On the Night. All right. I was going to put Turn On the Night. Anyway, no. Then if I'm a Legend Tonight, great fucking song. Then I think this song here, I think it's one of Gene's best vocals, man. From The Elder, A World Without Heroes, man. His vocals on that freaking song are amazing. And then I'm going to end my side 1, Not for the Innocent, and I'll lick it up. The Creatures of the Night 40th anniversary got some cool ass demos of that too.
Oh yeah,
really cool. Him and Paul singing, pretty cool. But anyway, that's my side 1.
Nice. So Not for the Innocent is the only song made all 3 albums so far.
Yep.
So Charles.
Well, I tried to do at least to cut off all the 80s Studios albums, and excluded smashes, thrashes, and hits because I don't need to be rock hard, nor do I want to put the X in sex. I will say though.
I mean, I'm sorry. Let me interrupt. It's Reason to Live, not Reason to Believe.
Yeah. We need Reason to Believe for that song, but it's okay. I will say this about Smashes and Thrashes though. I still think it's the best version of Love Gun ever is on there. It's they take out the Paul screaming over the solo. So
that's double platinum versions.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna open up with Heaven's on Fire. I think that's the ultimate opener off Animalize. That's probably my only Animalize. It is my only Animalize track. I'm with Chris. Who Wants to Be Lonely? Man, it's a jam off that album, man. I love it. And then off my favorite 80s album by Kiss, Misunderstood Work of Genius, Unmasked, Naked City. Coming in number 3. Number 4, Exciter. Coming off Lick It Up there. I'm with Jerry as well off The Elder. My only pick off The Elder, and I love The Elder. World Without Heroes. I think that song is so good that if it was somebody else, it would have been a hit for sure. If they wouldn't have been Kiss, I think it would have been a big hit. Well written song, great song. And back to Unmasked to end side one. The only Ace song on here. Talk to Me. Love it. But I'm see, I don't drink White Claw, but I love Unmasked. Something's not right with me. So
We're on even footing now.
See,
yeah.
I'm not a Kiss nerd like you guys, so I can't name each album really where these songs came from. I just know what I like. I'm a casual Kiss fan. I respect Kiss, but they are fun to make fun of.
Wearing his Ace Frehley shirt.
Well, I love Ace Frehley. I've told a story on my podcast where I got into Frehley's comic before I got into Kiss. Rock
Awesome.
Soldiers, yeah. So that's how I got in. I went back and said, "Oh shit, he was in Kiss," and so he got me into Kiss. But
Wow.
I like the '70s Kiss and a lot of '80s Kiss, yeah. But they're not my favorite band. It's not like a band I want to go listen to. Like I go, "Oh, I want to hear Kiss now." It's like I do that with Rush and Van Halen and stuff like that, and Van Hagar and Chickenfoot. But let's get to my side one. I think this was off Creatures. I Love It Loud.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then All Hell's Breaking Loose from Lick It Up. That's my number 2. Heaven's on Fire. I think somebody picked one of that. I picked Heaven's on Fire as my number 3 track. King of the Mountain. I know this song got made fun of on somebody's podcast this week. I think it's Rock and Metal Combat Pie. I like King of the Mountain. Number 4. And I think this album, Hot in the Shade, gets a lot of shit, but there's a lot of songs I like out that. I think when I did a review, I said this would be a good 10-song album. So I put Rise to it. And then I ended with, I know this is Creatures of the Night War Machine.
You are cool. You are the breeze.
I love these songs. I do have Kiss as always. They're always on my iPhone, so I do listen to them a lot, just not as much. It's like sometimes I'll skip, but especially I don't put on The Elder on my phone like some people do. But and then we get to side 2. Chris, what's your side 2?
So I open up side 2 with one of my favorite tracks of the 80s, A Million to One from the Lick It Up album. Love that song. Should have been a single, would have been a hit, I think. Track 2, go back to Gene with War Machine from Creatures. Oh, I should say track 8. Track 9, Nowhere to Run from the Killers record. That's pretty much a hidden gem in their catalog to me.
Definitely.
And then I end the record with 2 songs from Crazy Nights. I end it with Hell or High Water, and then we go out with Turn on the Night.
Yeah, nice. I think I like Crazy Nights better than these 2. So and
So like I said, I listened to it the other day. I don't hate it like I used to. I actually kind of like it. I must be getting old or something. I don't know.
Should I do my bonus tracks now, or are we doing?
Sure,
that
do your
after?
bonus tracks.
I just had 2: Thief in the Night from Crazy Nights and Naked City from Unmasked. Would have been my bonus track.
Oh, hey.
Charles is happy. And then we go to your side 2, Aaron.
All right. So Gene, Paul, Ace, and Eric, heavy metal Kiss in the 80s. Side 2, track 6, Get All You Can Take. The hard rock tune. I think that fits. I kind of sequenced these as best I could to think, what would that album, what could it be like if they took their best stuff? Get All You Can Take I love that song. Track 7, Rock and Roll Hell with Ace Frehley on lead vocals. Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
I don't know if you guys ever heard that off the Ace Frehley album, what is
Origins.
that? The Origin.
Yeah, I got both of them.
2, Rock and Roll Hell with Ace on it. I fucking love it, man. And so Ace sings it on this one. Track 8, one of the most ripping guitar songs Kiss ever came out with. I've heard it mentioned already here. Exciter. You gotta have it. You're doing a heavy metal Kiss album, you gotta have Exciter on there. Track 9, we're gonna do Young and Wasted with Eric Carr on lead vocals.
Oh, yeah.
Out of that song, because it's hard and heavy, we're going to rip right out of that into Escape from the Island. Man, what a 1-2 punch that is. Escape from the Island, ripping guitar instrumental, love it. And that gives a nice spacer to the final track, which I think is one of the best songs to end an album, Kiss or otherwise. And that is off of Lick It Up and On the Eighth Day. There you go. Heavy metal Kiss album perfection from the 80s, right there.
I like that. I think I'm gonna put a playlist together of that stuff.
No
That
shit.
sounds interesting to hear.
I know. I was watching Chris. Chris was like,
That's pretty badass, man. That's
a
pretty
great
badass.
list.
Yeah. So what's your side two, Jerry?
I'm gonna start it with Rise to It from Hot and Shade, man. I think it's a great starter from either side one or side two.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna go with War Machine, man. Fucking great song, co-written by Bryan Adams, man, of all people, if I remember right. Then my number three. Oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna hear White Claw shit for this one, I'm sure. But Shandy off Unmasked. I love fucking Shandy.
Oh, that song rules, dude.
Fucking great pop song, dude. I mean, come on now.
It's
That is like
perfection.
Paul Stanley pop perfection, exactly.
Yeah.
And then my four songs, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire, off Animal Lives. And then I'm going to end mine on a song that Paul didn't even want on the album, but I'm glad they did because it's probably the best song off Hot and Shade, and that's Boomerang, man. I love that fucking song.
I almost included Boomerang on mine because I thought
that is some fucking heavy shit, man. That's a great fucking tune, man.
like heavy. That's a great heavy metal Kiss song.
It is, man. I'm like, Paul didn't want that on your fucking album. What's wrong with him? Dude, take off forever, man. Come on.
I'm the one that's gonna get shit later. Oh God.
But yeah, I got four. I Love It Loud, I Still Love You. Great fucking power ballad, dude. Secretly Cruel and Lick It Up, My four bonus tracks.
So Charles, what's your side two with the bonus tracks?
I had, I tried to take one off each album, and I don't like Hot in the Shade at all. But nor Crazy Nights, to be honest with you. But I picked two, so they're on this side, and I open up with.
But you do like the Elder, and
because those are good albums. That's
a shocker that you like the Elder and don't like Crazy Nights.
I know.
That's kind of different.
I was just thinking, would I take the Elder over Crazy Nights?
Fuck
I might.
no.
I might.
No, I still have to go with the Elder. Like I said, I
would.
appreciate Crazy Nights more, but I would go with the Elder. I think
Crazy Nights is at least a rock album. It's not an opera.
Got the Oath though. That song rocks. But
Okay.
So I'm gonna do Rise to It, but take out that Cinderella ripoff acoustic stuff in the beginning. Let's go right into the I think there's a single edit like that. Or at least a video or something. I've heard it that way without all that Cinderella knockoff stuff in there. And then on Crazy Nights, here I am all alone. Sing it, Gene. Hell or High Water.
I thought you got to pick Bang Bang You.
Oh,
Love that song.
I do love that one. Now, that's a good one on Crazy Nights. No, almost made it though. That's a pretty good one too. Then I got Fits Like a Glove off of Lick It Up. Man, I love that song. Got to throw the ballot. I would have put Shandy, Jerry. I would have, but it makes honorable mention. I Still Love You. I still think that's the best Kiss
great song, dude.
ballad ever. And I prefer the version on Creatures over all the live versions and all that. It's just perfect, I think. And I'm going to end with War Machine. So I think a lot of us had War Machine. I think that's the best way to close the album. My honorable mentions are Ian's favorite ever, Tears Are Falling, his Stairway to Heaven. Creatures, the title track, Young and Wasted, Not for the Innocent, Shandy, Is That You, All Night. That almost made it there too. And No. That was my honorable mention.
All right, man. And I get to
So
mine.
it seems like oh, I'm sorry, Mark, but I forgot about it.
Oh, go ahead. No, go for it.
I was
We
just
got
gonna say, it
time.
seems like Lick It Up and Creatures are the two biggest ones so far as tracks from all of us.
Yeah, I don't have Lick It Up on mine.
Oh.
Yeah, you have Young and Wasted.
Yeah.
He means a Lick It Up album.
Albums. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Lick It Up album.
Yeah.
And then I get to my side too, and I go to Creatures of the Night title track from Creatures of the Night. And then I'll probably get shit for this, but I do like Forever.
Oh,
You gotta put a ballad on there, man. He goes, track 2, man. And then number 3, Under the Gun. Number 4, Lick It Up. And then a lot of you guys picked Hello High Water. I picked that one too. And then I only have one bonus track because I'm not a really big Kiss nerd. So Dance All Over Your Face. Just the title and the song's pretty cool.
Nobody picked Burn Bitch Burn for Mark Daly. I know.
Burn Bitch Burn. No, I didn't do Burn Bitch Burn for Mark Dolly. He makes me play that on my radio show when he requests it. So I play.
So he's the one that likes that song.
Oh God, he loves that song.
Nobody.
I thought you'd have Thrills in the Night on yours, Mark.
No, didn't have that at all, man. But that was our album and bonus tracks, man. And Chris has got stuff to do, but we still have a little bit of time, right, Chris?
Yeah, I got some time. You're good.
Okay. So cool, because I know you guys always like to talk about Motley Crue.
We do. Okay.
Well, Nikki Six said they sounded insane first day of Motley Crue rehearsals with John 5. The bassist says band ripped the set from top to bottom seamlessly. I already seen a lot of jokes on this. What do you think of that, Chris?
Well, I mean, do they even need to rehearse with John 5? I mean, maybe for them to keep up with him. I mean, he could play that shit in his sleep. That's they're in good hands with him on guitar, but I mean, he's going to get bored quickly playing that stuff. I like the riffs, but I mean, he's way overqualified for that gig. But to me, no Mick, no Motley. I can't really recognize that as Motley Crue without Mick Mars up there.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron?
I agree with that. It sucks that, I mean, I get it. He's old and he's got health problems and everything else, but it just doesn't seem right that, it's Motley Crue without Mick Mars. I mean, like you said, if you're going to get somebody, get John 5. He can do it in his sleep. Do they need a rehearsal? Like Chris said, probably for the rest of the guys to just put a little pep in their steps, because John 5 is good to go.
Yeah, and some of the jokes I was reading on this post was like somebody said, well, of course, Vince Neil probably wasn't there squealing like a cat. And I was like, damn. What do you think about this, Charles?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't go see it anyway, regardless. But I mean, John 5's a good. I think Chris made a good point on the rock and metal. They're a band that's getting to the point where stop giving them your money, so they'll just finish. Let's get at some new blood and some new bands going and get behind this and do these things, because they're probably playing the tapes anyway. I mean, more than likely,
except
at least
Vince.
a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Vince is for sure. I don't know. I'm just not that excited about Motley Crue news anymore. Haven't been in a while. So,
Well, at least we didn't have Journey news this week. Come on.
That is a bonus. Believe me, that's getting as old as anything else. But yeah, I mean, John 5's a great guitar player, so he could probably play with most of the bands we love, I believe. I don't think that's a matter of he couldn't do anything, but I don't know. I'm not going. I know that. So.
What about you, Jerry?
I mean, you guys covered it all, man. John 5 is a great guitar player. I think he's definitely overqualified for that band. But, it's sad. It sucks for Motley Crue because they're like one of the only bands that actually have the 4 original members left in it for the longest time, I won't go and see him. I'm just, not excited about Motley Crue continuing. Go out with grace. Go out with dignity, like he did a couple years ago, supposedly. But that's all I got to say about it. It doesn't really excite me one bit.
Well, I did see them on a stadium tour with Def Leppard, and I thought they were good. Vince did sound. My wife didn't like his voice at all, so she sounds like a howling cat, like somebody else said. But I was okay because the music was great, and Vince wasn't. I could at least understand what he was saying most of the time. So it was good. But if they want to keep touring, let them tour, man. I know they lied to the fans. They did that fake contract and shit, but. Well, Scorpions are still back, and Scorpions are making at least good music, and they said they were retiring. So at least we got 1 out of 2 that's actually good. But
I mean,
Hey,
you can't blame them for going out and making money. If there's a demand for
Right.
it and people are filling up
Yeah.
an arena, then good on them. I mean, I'll vote with my wallet, and not go. But
Exactly.
yeah, but there's younger generation that got into them through the Netflix movie. So
Yeah.
if they want to capitalize on that group of people, then more power to them. I just don't have much interest in them anymore.
Me neither.
yeah, I agree with you
Want to pay and
guys.
see
But I
them?
would,
Go
but
for
I
it,
would
man.
probably
Have a
see
good
them.
time.
I'm
Have
a
a good
glutton for punishment, like Charles says over there. But do you guys know anything about Rick and Morty? Should we even talk about that?
I have no idea about it.
Okay. Well, they fired the guy who does the voice of Mick and Rick and Morty co-creators. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I do love that show. I think it's like a twisted Back to the Future.
Yeah, I like
I think it's
show
pretty-
makes me laugh.
it makes me laugh, dude. But dude, it's like the guy, what Mel Blanc did the voice of the son did his voice of you see, it's not the same. I don't think that's gonna work, and people are gonna notice it. So
Well, it's kind of like dressing somebody else up like Ace Frehley and going, "Here you go." You know?
oh, back to Kiss. That's awesome.
Who would dare do that?
Never the same.
Such a crazy idea.
Yeah, but, I was just saying, you guys know nothing about Rick and Morty. I know Chris posted a joke about it earlier.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme about it. I can't even remember how it went, but it was our son loves that show, so I'd have to ask him. But I don't think I've ever watched a full episode of it.
There's something about 30-year-old something. Hey, I watch it because I think it's hilarious. It's like it. If you watch the HBO Max versions, it has like fuck, they cuss, and it is shit. It's pretty cool. But if you watch the Adult Swim version, they bleep that shit out. Go to HBO Max and watch the older seasons, and you can see all the cuss words like pussy, fuck you. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Swear a lot on it.
Yeah, they swear a lot on it. It's a fucking great cartoon. And then let's end this with some Paul Stanley news. He said that talks potential Dave Grohl collaboration. He's fascinating, a very, very bright guy. What do you think of that, Chris?
I think there's not a snowball's chance in hell that happens. They might be buddies, but even Dave has probably gotten wind of Paul's voice these days and is probably like, no, I'm not going to do a song with him. No chance in hell.
Man, what is it with everybody always jumping on the Dave Grohl? You know, like the dude from the Bullet Boys, like, yeah, we're going on a tour with Foo Fighters. You know, it's always like that's the guy you want to latch to. You know, oh, I'm doing a song with Dave Grohl. So popular.
What does Eddie Trunk says? He's like the spokesman for rock and roll now. Like Dave Grohl likes this. You should like it because Dave Grohl likes it. What do you think of that, Charles?
Of course he will try to collaborate with Dave Grohl. He's got to do anything to keep his career afloat. But did you also see that the Foo Fighters are now replacing Pantera in these German shows that the Pantera was kicked off of? So kind of big news because, with the Foo Fighters, with Taylor passing away. So I guess we'll find out what they're going to do drumming wise. But yeah, Dave Grohl's the it guy. He did a big song with Liam Gallagher last year. I mean, everybody gravitates to him. He's like the like you said, the cool dude. I mean, from Paul McCartney down. So of course Paul Stanley would throw that name out there.
Isn't that
We'll
kind of
see.
normal, Paul, to
He
get on the
chases
trends?
relevance all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm like 50-50 actually. We'll see. You never know. Because Grohl seems to play with anybody. So
I don't mind Dave Grohl. I mean, he does seem like he's pretty knowledgeable and just a big fan of rock and roll. So I don't blame him for doing, every documentary under the sun or whatever, because he is well spoken on it and he does know the history. So it's not just him being flavor of the week. I don't think he seems like I think he's more interesting as a person than me being a fan of his band so much.
What about
Yeah.
you, Jerry?
I don't have no problem with Dave Grohl. The guy seems to have fun, man, with whatever he does, man. Him and Taylor both, man, seem like they were having really fucking fun, dude. Collaborating with all these people. I mean, having a good time. So, I would listen to it, but I'm not really counting on it being great with Paul's voice. So, that's definitely a wait and see. So,
I love
Hey,
Dave Grohl more than
I found
Nirvana.
I found a soundboard, Paul, and it's gonna make you sound great.
Yeah, I love Dave. I love Dave Grohl way better than Nirvana. Nirvana didn't age well on me for some reason. It's just like I can't hear that.
Never was a fan.
I was for the first 2 months, and then I just gravitated towards Alice in Chains more. But I'm like, oh god, I love Dave Grohl. He makes great documentaries, man. Watch the freaking Sonic Highways thing. That's a freaking really
On the
good
Foo Fighter
documentary.
documentary called Back and Forth is really good
That's
too.
a good one too, man. The guy is even the one he did where he's interviewing rock stars' parents with his mom was pretty damn good. So and there's a lot of good did you guys see that Paul McCartney and Me? Anybody?
I saw the one that Paul McCartney did with Rick Rubin.
Yeah,
not
that's
what
the
you're
one. That one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty fun to watch.
That's pretty fun. All right, man. I'd like to thank you and thank you, Chris. Thank you, Aaron. You guys, I want you guys to pimp your stuff a little bit more before you leave. Chris?
Rockinpod.com, baby. That's where it's at. Check it out. If you got any questions about anything, it's rockinpod.com. All the info is there. Go look.
And decibelgeek.com as well.
We also
Yeah,
do a
Decibel Geek, they got a great website. They got a great YouTube channel, great podcast. I never missed an episode. When I was like, I got into you and Ralph around the same time. Well, Ralph and Ian. Sorry, Ian, I forgot you. But I got into both of you at the same time, and I'm like, and I hooked up with a racist for a little bit, but that I got rid of that one.
Oh shit!
I'm glad those are all deleted. It never happened. All right, man. Thank you guys for being on here. I know, Chris, you got something to do.
Yep.
Thank you, Aaron. Let's see. You have any final words, Charles?
No. Just look out for next week's episode, and thank Aaron and Chris for joining us. It was a real honor having you guys on.
Yeah, next week we're doing the Cheap Trick album battle. Cheap Trick debut versus with the 2 demo tracks to make it even.
The Cars is not
Cars.
Cheap Trick.
And then
I was gonna
Candy.
say,
Oh,
what the
not
fuck
Cheap
did we
Trick. I
play
mean
it
the
again?
Cars. Okay,
Yeah.
I had some rum. All right, leave me alone. All right, we're doing the Cars debut versus Candio. We're adding 2 demo tracks from the first Cars album to make it even. Jerry, any final words?
Nah, man, just you guys, thank you very much. I know you two are busy, man, and thank you for being on our show, man. We're privileged to have you guys on. I'm looking forward to meeting you two at Rockin' Pod, man. You know,
Absolutely.
Chris, thank you, man, for doing this, man. It sounds like a great opportunity for all these cool motherfuckers to meet, dude, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to toasting a White Claw with all of you.
Oh,
Sure. I'll do it. If with Chris, I'll White Claw with Chris.
Well, remember, I'm up to snorting whiskey on stage. I'm good.
White Claw.
Oh no, not White Claw.
There's an idea.
Oh, I would do it. I would do it. I'm up for anything. But that's carbonation.
Yeah, the
Oh,
carbonation is gonna
God.
kill you.
Oh, God. I mean, shit. All right, man. As long as I got some like pads in the back, so when I fall down, that'd be cool. All right, guys. Thank you, guys, and make sure and subscribe. Oh, go ahead.
One more
Jerry.
thing for Chris, man.
Yeah.
Niners and Chiefs, man. How about it?
That's my predictions, man. My prediction since the beginning of the year.
Taking the Niners over Philadelphia, huh?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm not saying shit until the coin toss or right before the coin toss.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much,
All right.
man.
See you later.
All right, later, guys. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Uh-huh.
Hey, wait, subscribe and share. Later, guys. Bye.
All right.